we tend to obsess about like the Magic or the Bird or the Michael or the Shaq. And LeBron's taken a lot of oxygen out of the room. And he happens to play KD with one of the most likable stars of my life, Steph Curry. Steph Curry always has this agitational edge to him. And I always think, dude, we like you. I mean, you do happen to play with a soft, cuddly puppy of the NBA, Steph Curry. But we still love you, Kevin. Sometimes I feel like Kevin doesn't feel loved. And it's like, dude, did I say last week or not? He's the best player in the NBA now.
Well, yeah, but you can kind of understand how he would feel that way because LeBron has gotten all of the love and attention. Also, all of the criticism as well.
Yes.
So he may feel like he is at the same level as LeBron and he's not getting the same love as LeBron. But, you know, we're in the playoffs now, so.
This didn't bother me at all. I'm totally okay with this KD technical. This didn't bother me at all. It was kind of, you have it right as, listen, LeBron doesn't get him. Michael didn't get him. Magic didn't get him. But there have been great players in this league, Iverson, who occasionally got him. And it's just part of his. I think it's part of his.
No, I don't have a problem with this either. My only concern is he's already got 2 technicals now, game 1 into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the issue.
You got to be careful with that because I think it's at 7, then you miss a game.
Listen,
so
Rasheed Wallace got him. Westbrook gets him. KD gets him. Iverson, I think, got some. Yeah.
Finally, things did not work well for the Lakers this season. Went 37-45 and missed the playoffs, as we know. And now Luke Walton has been fired and moved on to the Kings. And the Lakers are looking for their next head coach. And it seems that they are prioritizing their head coaching search over the replacement for Magic Johnson. So they are looking at Monty Williams, who is the current Sixers assistant coach, and Ty Lue. Juwan Howard's name is also in there as well. Now, I don't really see how they don't go with Ty Lue. Monty Williams is well-liked around the league and has head coaching experiences with the Pelicans from 2010 to 2015. And obviously we know what Ty Lue has done. Juwan Howard's been an assistant for quite some time, and he also has a relationship with Rob Pelinka, who we're assuming is going to end up staying there.
At this point, yes. It does look like somebody's got to, every ship needs a captain. They got to keep somebody, so I think
I disagree, but it appears that way. As of right now, Rob Pelinka seems to be with the guy who's going to end up staying there, and this is going to be the test to see what he can actually do. But to me, I feel like you have to just go all in on Cavs of the West. I know everyone hates that idea,
but I think that's what they're doing.
People were very critical of Ty Lue. I really feel like that's unfair. Like Ty Lue did win an NBA title. And when they were playing well, LeBron got all the credit, and when they weren't, Ty Lue gets all the criticism.
Yeah, no. An NBA executive who I trust told me before Ty Lue had won a title, he said, guy can coach. And this is an executive who through the years has been spot on. He said, listen, you don't know much about him, but in the league, Ty Lue can coach. And by the way, he used to play for the Lakers.
Right.
So he's got a little Laker history.
And they did come back 3-1 on the greatest regular season team in NBA history and held the Warriors to 89 on their home floor in Game 7. He's the first rookie head coach to win his first 10 postseason games. He gets all this criticism because everyone jokes that LeBron is really the head coach. There's a bunch of other guys on the team that have to be managed too. You have to make adjustments. I feel like Ty Lue is the best candidate for the job, and I've said that since it appeared that Luke Walton was leaving. Monty Williams and Juwan Howard are certainly qualified as well, but to me, Luke's the answer in that spot.
Good stuff, Joy, with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Well, a year ago, he wrote a biography of Tiger Woods that's just an outstanding read. Jeff Benedict and our next guest, Armin Katayan, an executive producer of The Athletic. Please subscribe. It's outstanding. An 11-time Emmy Award winner, contributing correspondent to 60 Minutes, one of the real journalists in this sports genre we cover via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. Love bringing on Armin Katayan, former HBO, CBS Sports producer and sportscaster and writer. And Armin, I think of you as one of the people in our business who's a storyteller. I cannot think of a greater story in my life. I sat on my couch and cried. I did not cry with Tiger Woods' dominance for a decade. I was in awe of it. Yesterday, I got so emotional. I was rooting against other golfers, and I don't do that. Why did it land like that for so many people?
Well, I was racking my brain this morning to try to think of something that even compares to what we witnessed yesterday. I went back to like 1980 with the U.S. hockey team winning a gold medal, and even that kind of paled in comparison because you know, the personal journey here is just, it's so big and it's so deep and it's so wide. And I mean, how many people lose all the things that Tiger lost? You lose your health, you lose your marriage, you lose a lot of your sponsors, you lose your swing, you lose your way, you end up in rehab, you have drug issues. I was in that same position. I didn't leave the couch yesterday from 9:15 in the morning on Eastern Standard Time until 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the afternoon. And it was just, I think it's, you know, we're watching a genius, but we're also watching a different Tiger Woods, which I think makes it even more compelling because he's more gracious, he's more appreciative, he's more human than he's ever been and engaged with fans and his fellow pros. And so we're rooting for the man now. We're not rooting for the machine. And you're absolutely right, Colin. He was, you know, he was like a Terminator, but there was no emotion. There was no attachment to him other than, you know, watching greatness and watching a genius. But this, the hug afterwards with Charlie, you know, I immediately, the words that came to my, or the number that came to my head was 1997. I was like, oh my God, we're watching, you know, the symmetry here is just overpowering.
You know, you wonder, athletes are healthier longer. Brady's the obvious answer to this, but Phil Mickelson looks healthier than he's ever been. He's longer off the tee. I look at Tiger and I say to myself, you know, we have the medical advancements. Tiger looked confident. He looked strong. He looked lean. Is this a one-off for Armin? Are we going to get another 4, 5, 6 majors out of this? What's your takeaway on that, where he goes moving forward?
Well, yeah, I mean, he looks as good as I've seen him look in the last 4 years. I mean, very fit, like you said, very lean. His game is in great shape. He putted beautifully yesterday.
Yes. Under
a lot of pressure. I mean, I wasn't a believer in anything past 14, but after the Tour Championship at East Lake, I started to have a little more belief in him. And then certainly yesterday, it was so much fun to watch. And I don't mean this in a negative way, but a lot of these guys have talked about what it would like to be in the cauldron with Tiger on a Sunday in a major. And then one after another, they felt the pressure, they fell to the pressure. And there was Tiger doing what he's always done, is make big shots in magnificent moments. And he's got the confidence now. He sent a message that he's healthier mentally, spiritually, physically than he's ever been. So I'm not going to say no to anything at this point in time because at 43, he looks like he's, you know, 33.
You know, I got some pushback yesterday because I said, I called him a couple years ago. Somebody on a show asked me about him. I said, he's a former golfer. He said, I'm like, he had back fusion. Like, come on, give me a break. He's had like 9 surgeries. Emotionally, he couldn't get through a weekend. He couldn't play 4 great rounds. He quit tournaments. When you wrote the book on him, what was the low point? Was there a moment of time, a year?
Oh, no question.
What was the low point for Tiger?
Well, it's you know, it's amazing that it's not even 2 years ago. I mean, rock bottom for him was the DUI arrest in Florida, where he was on the side of the road. You didn't know where he was. He thought he was in California. He was in unrelenting pain. He was addicted to several kinds of powerful pain medication. You know, I mean, there was a cocktail of 5 different drugs in his system when they found him on the side of the road. He couldn't really speak. He couldn't stand up. And then, you know, you see that mugshot that it ricocheted all over the world. So if that's not the low point, I don't know what was. I mean, some people would have said it was 09 with the fire hydrant. No way. The low point was there, and I think that's where he changed. He went to rehab again. I think he saw in the mirror a person he did not want to be, a father he did not want to be to his children, and it changed him. And fortunately, and as he has said, he didn't really care whether he was going to play golf again. He just wanted to be able to walk again. And the surgery, the 4th surgery, was the one that did the trick. Who knew how long and how well that surgery would take? But his children have been the motivating force for him, without question. And this isn't just me saying it. This is Tiger saying it time and time again. To come back. And as we ended, it was funny, Colin, we ended the hardcover book where we talked about what it was like for him, having played pretty well at Torrey Pines in early 18, that he wanted to be able to show Charlie and Sam what a living legend looks like, because they'd only seen these YouTube videos of him, and they frankly were getting a little tired of, you know, people telling them how great their dad was. But what we saw at Eastlake, and then certainly what we saw yesterday, that was the living legend come to life in front of his children. I can't think of a more powerful moment. And then to top it off, you have all the fellow pros.
Yes.
Koepka.
Yeah.
You know, they were all standing there. Ricky was there. They were all there. And the first thing out of their mouth wasn't like, oh, I lost the Masters. It was like they were so happy for Tiger. And what he means to the tour and what his redemption means personally for him, because they like him. Ricky said he's shown more gratitude. He's lost the tunnel vision. He's more appreciative. All those things I'd mentioned before, but it's not just me saying it from the outside. It's them saying it from the inside.
11-time Emmy Award winner Armin Kadayan, HBO, CBS sportscaster, executive producer now of The Athletic. Please, by the way, subscribe. It's fantastic. Finally, Armin, I'm going to touch back on the golfers, because that's what really, you know, I'm a dad. You're a dad. I follow you on Twitter. I see you're a dad, and I see we're all dads. We all cry. But when I saw the resonance with the pro golfers, take my audience back. I know he was close with Mark O'Meara, but I don't recall other golfers rooting for him. In fact, he was almost robotic. That, to me, I was taken back by that. I'm like, oh, my God, Bubba Watson, who can be difficult. Brett, go back 10, 12 years. I thought he was kind of on an island. He wasn't one of the guys.
Oh, no question. He had a mystique about him. He had an armor around him. It was like they were playing a machine. Tiger was wired, programmed. Jeff and I often thought of him almost as a computer, that he had been programmed by Earl and Tita to do exactly what he did, which was become arguably the greatest individual athlete in the history of sports.
Yeah.
But there was such a cost involved with that. And no question, relationships with his fellow pros was part of that equation. He did not want to get to know those guys because he wanted to retain that mystique, but still be able to crush them on a Sunday if necessary.
Yeah.
And, you know, he lost relationships after the accident with O'Meara. I think they've since repaired that to a large degree. But there was no love lost between Tiger and any of his fellow pros in those days. And now it's 180 degrees different. And you know what? Thank God. He's been through enough. And to see this the way we saw it yesterday, I mean, that's an emotional pitch I don't think we're going to see in a long time again in sports.
Well, Armin, you're kind of an encyclopedia when it comes to golf. I am not. I play it poorly. I think this is Tiger's biggest win. Am I reaching? It feels like the most important. It'll be 25 years from now.
That's the word, I think.
Okay, important?
That's the word, Colin. I think it's his greatest achievement.
Okay.
It may not be his greatest win, because you look at the 97 Masters, or when you win by, you know, 15 at Pebble Beach in 2000, or you win at Torrey Pines in 08 at the U.S. Open on basically a broken leg. That might have been, you know, physically the most dominant, but as an achievement, as a legacy, I don't think anybody is. I think this was the most magnificent moment, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all the Lees that you could possibly imagine in his career.
Armin Kadayan, the book, by the way, 2018 biography. We put it on the screen several times. New York Times bestseller. Great read. Armin, we talk soon again, I hope. Thank you so much.
You bet, Colin. Thank you so much.
All right. 60 Minutes, HBO, CBS, 11 Emmys, producer of The Athletic, executive producer. God, it's just incredible. It's just incredible. You know, it's just Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. When they struggled, when they suffered, when there was pain, when they were humbled, the second time they both came back, the last three for Michael always connected with me more than the first three. And I connected more with Tiger yesterday than I ever did in the first decade. And I was a Tiger guy. I love Phil, but I was a Tiger guy. He looked different. He swore. He threw his clubs. He pumped his fist. I always said he always looked like the Baltimore Ravens' Ed Reed playing safety in golf. You'd look at him and you're like, he's a free safety. He's like a safety. He was jacked. And he was emotional. And you're like, he intimidated people. I was like, He was like a football player playing golf, and it was a machine. And yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, he's a dad, and he's human, and he's just marvelous.
We love a redemption story, huh?
Oh my God, it's just so good. Colin right, Colin wrong. Top of the hour. Coming up next. Oh, you think this person got fired, but how do you know he didn't fire the team? That's coming up next.
Now I had the time of my life, and
the most delicious union of all time is back. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for a limited time at KFC.
Fields of gold, acres of green, mountains of earth. The land is your canvas. Paint it with horsepower and solid steel. Purpose-built equipment for a job done right.
Guys, we all get to a stage in our life where we've earned ourselves an upgrade. Age sets in. He's not as hot as he used to be. Should have been sent to the curb a long time ago. Which is why I upgraded.
Here we go.
To a Napoleon grill.
Maybe I deserve the upgrade. Good one, Mom. Yeah. Really, really funny. I thought it was funny.
When the fire goes out in your grilling relationship, upgrade to a Napoleon. Upgrade your grilling game.
Good morning.
More treatment.
We're going to try something different today.
Oh, so pretty.
Dogs bring out the good in us. Pedigree brings out the good in them.
We don't just make cars. We make technology that moves people. This is the 2019 Nissan Rogue, featuring tech like Pro Pilot Assist. It helps keep you centered in your lane and in control. This is how Nissan Intelligent Mobility is reinventing driving for everyone. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
The Joseph A. Bank Super Tuesday sale. Save up to 70% off almost everything. All suits on sale starting at $199. Dress shirts and sports shirts $39. Plus an extra 40% off all clearance. The Super Tuesday sale. Shop early Monday.
Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong with Head & Shoulders.
It's a winner-take-all battle for $100 grand. For the win! The PBA Playoffs round of 24 continues tonight at 8 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Everyday foods can throw your digestive system out of healthy balance. Sweeteners, processed foods, and meat can disrupt it, leading to indigestion, bloating, even constipation. That's why Peptiva was developed. Peptiva is the first ever doctor-formulated probiotic that works at night when your body is at its restorative best. Peptiva features a combination of key ingredients found in no other probiotic, backed by over 7 clinical studies.
Get your complimentary sample by texting BEAM to 231-231.
Peptiva works while you sleep, targeting common root causes of digestive discomfort while promoting digestive balance. And since you take it at night, it has time-released melatonin for deep, restful sleep. That's something I need anyway.
Find out for yourself why Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC. Get your complimentary sample now by texting BEAM to 231-231. Offer not available in stores. That's BEAM to 231-231.
John, if you're picking right now, Brewers and Dodgers, who's better?
I still give the edge to the Dodgers.
They are the champs in the NL, and the talent level is still through the roof.
Watch out for the Brewers this year.
It's fun to watch them play baseball.
This team's got something to deal with.
Todd!
You wouldn't just live with it if they did it, so why live with your cat peeing outside the litter box? This could be due to fear and anxiety. Feel-Away products are clinically proven to help alleviate many stress-related cat behaviors. Find your solution at feelaway.com.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
What is that?
Mine. Why?
It's just that it's...
Lavender? Yes, it is. It's for men.
But I like the smell of it.
Fox Sports 1 is your destination for the day's best sports shows. Tune in for the biggest personalities on the biggest stories, and don't miss us on The Herd weekdays at 12 Eastern. Catch it all right here Monday through Friday on FS1.
If you had a Discover card, it alerts you if they find your Social Security number on any of the 1,000 risky websites. Free for card members. Sign up online, discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply. Great to have you in. Tiger Woods was obviously the story of the weekend. Rick Riley, 1 hour from now. Colin right, Colin wrong, top of the hour. There were actually some really, really good NBA playoff games over the weekend where the road underdog went on the road and won. I've always said the NBA, all sports in America have to get out of the greed. You're all making a fortune now with your TV contracts. If the NBA had 3-game series in the first round, you would absolutely have to watch games. But we know kind of Toronto's going to beat Orlando eventually, and we know Denver at home should eventually get it right and beat San Antonio. But fun nonetheless. So Luke Walton's now coaching the Sacramento Kings, and I read Twitter. It's this angry bird where people scream and yell at each other. And Luke Walton got fired. Oh, I mean, they ran him out of town. Okay. Don't kid yourself. Luke Walton had a year left with LeBron James, and he chose Sacramento. You don't leave the Dallas Cowboys to coach the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This shows you the dysfunction. This was a 50-50 split. He wanted out of the Lakers. This has been in the works for 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, LeBron's not into him. Luke knows it, and Luke didn't, to his credit, want to be another victim in LeBron's line of bailing on coaches. This thing was in the works for weeks. LeBron's not into Luke. Magic wasn't into Luke, and Luke Walton is no dummy. Don't think this is helpless Luke swimming, looking for the shore. He had this puppy planned because he's a smart dude, and he saw the writing on the wall. And I don't think he's Brad Stevens. I don't think he's, Quinn Snyder at Utah or Mike D'Antoni, but I don't think he's a terrible coach. I think he's fine. And I think he's young, and young people get better, and he'll get better. 5 years from now, he'll look back and go, oh, God, I wasn't very good at that. It's okay, folks. Not everybody improves at the same pace. Not everybody's a genius. A lot of people are late developers. He's becoming a very good coach. But just look at who the Lakers now have as potential coaches. Ty Lue, LeBron's guy. Juwan Howard played with LeBron. And Monty Williams, who, by the way, coached Anthony Davis, who is represented by Clutch Sports, and that's LeBron's dudes. There's a fork in the road. We talked about this a couple days ago, and the Lakers have chosen the LeBron path. I get it. I understand it. That's the path I would choose. Now, it should be noted, for the last 15 years of LeBron's career, I have always been just hand the franchise to LeBron. That was my brand for 15 years. I am less willing and more reluctant to do it now, although I think the Lakers are trapped. Age, injuries, and I've told LeBron's representatives, he's heavy now. He's weighty. There's a lot of stuff around him. Everybody's walking on eggshells. Now, it should be, I'm not ripping on LeBron. People think I've turned on LeBron. I think he's going to have a great year next year. I am not today a hand the franchise to Tom Brady guy. I think Tom needs to take pay cuts. He is. I don't think Tom Brady should worry about who's coaching him. He doesn't. And I think Tom Brady now needs to make concessions because he's getting older. Okay? That's what I believe LeBron needs to do. I think he needs to worry less about the coach. not try to squeeze every dollar out of every situation. He's made almost $300 million in hoops alone, another $200 million in shoes, and those things aren't stopping anytime soon. Like Tom, you want better players around you? You want to be viable because you're not getting younger. You got an injury. If you get a second, it's going to be ugly. And like Brady's done really well over the last couple of years, LeBron needs to, how can I say this, get over himself a little, laugh at himself a little, be one of the dudes a little. I'm not asking you to give up your G4, bruh. Just kind of be one of the dudes. But this, don't turn Luke Walton into some victim who was flailed off the side of the boat and was able to just barely grab the Kings. Kings have a better roster this morning. May not after free agency. This morning they do. De'Aaron Fox is better and healthier than Lonzo Ball. Buddy Hield's a better shooter, pure shooter than anybody on the Lakers. And Marvin Bagley's going to be really, 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 really good. He needs about another 50, 60 games, and you're going to go, oh, Marvin Bagley. Get that jumper in a little bit, going to be really good. So that's where we stand on that. Colin right, Colin wrong, top of the hour. Got a Kevin Durant thoughts. I've got some Russell Westbrook and Oklahoma City thoughts. That was a wild game. It shouldn't have been that close. If you're Oklahoma City, let me just say this. If you're Oklahoma City this morning, you're thinking, oh, man, we are toast. Actually, if I woke up this morning and I was Oklahoma City, I'd feel great. We shot 3 for 33 on threes. Portland couldn't miss theirs. We were on the road. Paul George is hurt. End of the game came down to a couple shots. I know I always, crank it up for Oklahoma City. I still think Oklahoma City's going to win the series. I think Oklahoma City's got better players. It's hard to win 2 games in Portland. They'll win the next one. Portland's not going to shoot that well. Oklahoma City can't possibly shoot that poorly. And I do believe over time, Paul George is going to be a little healthier. He's got a bad shoulder. He was awful yesterday. Now, the scary part for OKC is, Paul George history in the playoffs is not great. There's a little Kyle Lowry with it. Now, not that bad. Where Paul is pulled back a little in the playoffs, Kyle Lowry didn't pull back. I mean, he just goes and hides. But I could bang on, the Thunder this morning. I actually think they're going to win the series. And I think they wake up this morning thinking, we can't shoot like that. Paul George gets healthier. We got the better roster. I think they win the next game. And then I think they go into Oklahoma City and win 2 games. But it's pretty scary if you're OKC because here we go again with the first round dilemma. All right, great second hour coming up. We're Colin right, we're Colin's wrong coming up.
Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car, under the hood, and hanging with the drivers.
We've got the drama, the stories, the science. We've got the speed.
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
You search joke. 3 smart devices walk into a bar.
A bar is a counter where beer is served. Beer. Michelob Ultra is a beer free of artificial colors or flavors.
Favors are friendly gestures like ordering a beer.
I will have one. No, your operating system is not old enough.
Ha, ha.
Ha.
There's enough artificial in the world. Michelob Ultra. No artificial colors or flavors. Superior light beer.
That is a good one.
Bear presents Outdone Yourself. Staining be done. And stay done through every season.
Done. Done. Done, 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 done.
Bear semi-transparent stain. Overall, #1 rated. Stay done for years to come. Find it exclusively at the Home Depot.
Built into every Honda is our racing heritage, and at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event, you can take some of it home. With the Honda Accord, which Car and Driver called America's best sedan, and it comes standard with a turbocharged engine. Kind of like a race car disguised as a sedan. Ironic, because I'm kind of like a distinguished gentleman disguised as a race car driver. This will look great with my helmet.
Get a great deal on the Honda Accord with Honda Sensing, safety and driver-assistive technologies at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
Outsmarting a nasty Nessie with Duluth Flex Dry on the Fly pants.
Step 1. Locate the legend. Step 2. Flex 'em. And unwet 'em. Duluth Flex Dry on the Fly Pants. Make your legs legendary. Only at Duluth stores and DuluthTrading.com.
I'm going to start with some balayage clip-ins, then razor cut up to a blunt angled lob. I'm retiring. You're my swan song.
What?
He's going to slap some clips in your hair, give you a bob, and then he's going to move to Boca Raton. But you're going to look amazing.
Okay. There are multiples on the table. One is cash, 3 are FHA, 1 is VA. So what can you do?
She's saying a whole lot of people want to buy this house. But you got this. It can be as simple as push-button get mortgage. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
What if I wielded the power of the Infinity Gauntlet? I could bend reality to my will with a snap of my fingers.
I just saved money with Geico.
I saved hundreds of dollars.
Nice.
That is a lot of money. The power is exhilarating. I just got something in my throat. Yeah.
Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame in theaters April 26th.
Why didn't you book your family vacation on a travel site?
At Hilton.com, I get the price match guarantee, and I can choose from their 14 different hotel brands, so I get the right hotel for every member of my family. Like a double tree for my cousins who love their warm chocolate chip cookies, a Homewood Suites for my uncle who likes a long stay, a Hampton for my sister and her kids,
It's a lot of syrup.
and the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills for me.
But I thought your family vacation was in Miami.
It is. I hear they're having a great time. Book at Hilton.com and get the Hilton price match guarantee. If you find a lower rate, we match it and give you 25% off that stay.
Think fast. This week, carry out a large 2-topping pizza for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut when you order online. That's right, a large pizza for $5.99. Hurry, because this deal ends Monday. Just another reason why no one out pizzas the Hut.
You see a small satellite, but Draper saw a way to fight disease. So they're using Dell Technologies with the power of VMware to bring their idea to life. Together, we're powering AI that analyzes satellite imagery to follow the spread of pathogens like malaria, so we can stop them in their tracks. And that kind of technology can make the world a healthier place. VMware, a part of Dell Technologies.
Here's how Old Dominion puts together a winning performance. It takes precision, like how we're #1 in claims prevention. It takes hustle, like our over 99% on-time rate. And it takes consistently going the distance to earn our fans' loyalty. That's why we're #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
Time to place your bets.
I'm in your head, Vegas. All bets are on.
There you have it. Lock it in.
If your joints feel stiff, sore, and achy, it will get worse if you do nothing.
But most products just temporarily hide the symptoms.
Now there's something different. Instaflex Advanced.
It targets the root cause of joint soreness and stiffness. It doesn't just cover up symptoms.
Instaflex Advanced bathes your joints in its cutting-edge combination of 5 key natural ingredients found in no other product for relief you can feel, backed by 5 clinical studies. For your complimentary 2-week sample of Instaflex Advanced, text FAST to 321321.
Don't wait while your stiff, achy joints get worse. Target the root cause with Instaflex Advanced today. It's so powerful you could feel the difference in just 1 week. Maybe that's why it's the #1 selling joint brand at GNC.
But you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by texting FAST to 321321. That's FAST to 321321. Do it now.
Here we go on a Monday, second hour. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be, however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. Joy Taylor is joining me on what was not only an incredible Sunday for Tiger Woods, it was a magnificent weekend of sports television. I watched a couple of incredible UFC fights Saturday night with my buddy Ryan Russillo. Won a Hyundai off him, by the way. That felt sweet. In your face. And then I watched NBA basketball with the underdogs going on the road and winning. That was great.
This is a great sports weekend.
Oh, God, Orlando, good for you. It was just great. And then, the Tiger thing was amazing. So we do it every Monday, Joy, at this time. I'm wrong a lot. Sometimes we hit it. Right, wrong. Here we go. All right.
Where Colin was right.
Russell Wilson, you mocked, you rolled your eyes when I said a month ago, I think he's interested, potentially in New York. Well, what do you know? Peter King writes in Football Morning in America, Seattle either signs him long-term deal today or he's never signing a long-term deal, and it will be a series of short one-year deals. And legitimate sources, Pro Football Talk, with heavy speculation that Seattle believes Russell would like to play elsewhere. He's just not going to say it publicly. By the way, Tyrann Mathieu, former LSU star, Arizona, went on his Twitter account and said, Russ wants New York. If you ain't heard that from T, this is the story we talked about a month ago. It's what my source told me, that Russell Wilson feels like everybody, Pete Carroll, 12th man, the defense has gotten their share of the credit, and he essentially saved the franchise, which, for the record, as a Seattle kid, he did. We were right on that one.
Where Colin was wrong.
I never thought Tiger would win another major. I said it a couple years ago. He was hooked on drugs. Emotionally, he couldn't give you 3 straight rounds. He was quitting tournaments. He acknowledged a couple years ago he couldn't coach the President's Cup because it was too painful riding in a golf cart. I was wrong on that. Yesterday, his iron play was unbelievable. It was the old Tiger. His putting wasn't quite as good as the old Tiger, but it was really good. I have no problem acknowledging, I said a couple years ago, he feels like a former golfer to me. Is that emotionally, physically, it's over. Especially after, I don't know, the 3rd back surgery.
Where Colin was right?
Well, we said Luke Walton was going to go to Sacramento. I had no idea it would happen 12 hours later. I had gone to dinner Thursday night and had a couple sources tell me that he was going to take the Kings job, fired or not. Now, I had no idea it was going to happen within 12 hours, but Luke knew he had no support from Magic and no support from LeBron and very little support from Rob Pelinka. So the idea that Luke was flailing, as we said on Thursday's show before it happened on Friday, or we said it on Friday's show before it happened on Friday afternoon, he's going to take the Sacramento Kings job. And I think it's actually, for the next 4 or 5 years, I think it's a really interesting job. They have a couple of unbelievable young players, so we called that one.
Where Colin was wrong.
Ben Simmons has been the league's biggest disappointment. First of all, I don't think anybody likes him on the team. He has shown no leadership abilities. And, outside of 7 feet, he can't shoot. The man upstairs, I'm not overly religious, but the guy upstairs gave him some really great gifts. Size, length, quickness, vision, and he's done nothing with them. I'm sorry, this team is so talented. Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris is their 4th best player. Some people thought he was going to get maxed by the Clippers. Ben Simmons, any franchise a couple years ago, Ben Simmons was thought of as the best one-and-done player for a decade until Zion. I really thought this guy was going to become not Magic Johnson, but the closest thing to him, an absurdly large guard with unbelievable vision. Magic was not a great shooter his first couple years in the league. Either was Jason Kidd. But I don't like what I see in the leadership department. I don't think players like him. I've heard that from people I trust, and I was wrong on him.
Where Colin was right?
Well, we said all year, be very careful with Toronto and Denver. A lot of teams that are young, maybe have one elite player, but don't have the championship ingredients. They play their butt off in the regular season, but that advantage of playing hard goes away because everybody in the playoff goes and plays hard. So that big advantage Denver and Toronto had, they just outplayed people most of the year because they don't have titles. They're young. They've got a young coach. We're going to listen, Toronto's better than Denver, I think, and Toronto's going to win their series. I'm not sure with Denver, but never forget NBA basketball is not about your record. When it comes to winning championships, it's about a handful of key ingredients, and I don't think Toronto, and I know Denver doesn't have them.
Where Colin was wrong.
I was slow to embrace Giannis. He was in Milwaukee. He's a big in a league where it's all guards and wings. He doesn't handle the ball that much. I gotta be honest with you. I find the kid incredibly likable, totally focused, not into Hollywood, inside of 8 to 10 feet, lights out. And he actually has become what I really like. In football where I call my favorite quarterbacks the Boar Four, he's become that. He's focused. He's boring. He's a grown-up. He loves basketball. He loves his teammates. I don't get any drama. He didn't play American college basketball, so I didn't watch him. Didn't really know who he was until end of his second year, beginning of his third year in the NBA. I heard of him, but I didn't really buy him. But I sit and watch this kid, and everything about him I love. I love his focus. I love his length. I love his personality. I love his giving manner. I love his lack of drama. And I like the fact he wants to stay with one team. Even though I'm pro-mobility, the Damian Lillards and Giannis, that worked for me too.
Where Colin was right.
Listen, Russell Westbrook, I'm not going to rip OKC losing. And I'm not going to rip it because Russell Westbrook had a bad night shooting. Russell Westbrook's not a great shooter. But come on, man. Emotionally, you got to be galvanized. After the game, I just don't see Magic, LeBron, or Michael Jordan acting like this.
Russell, where Colin was wrong.
Since he left you, but could you tell he had a little extra in his step tonight trying to play against his old pals?
Next question.
Russ, did you think getting down 38-21, 17-point deficit to come back and make it a game down the stretch, is that a good sign for the rest of the playoffs?
Next question.
Looked like you tweaked your ankle a little bit in the fourth quarter. How's that feeling?
It's okay. It's all right.
Did you expect it to have any impact going forward? Or?
We'll see.
Come on. Oklahoma City, you've just enabled this for years. Oh, I hear he's got an issue with one of the writers in Oklahoma City. Oh, Lord, let's move on. You're the face of the franchise. Let's show stability. People are leaning on you. I'm not going to beat up on him for having a bad shooting night. He's not a great shooter. He's relentless. He's great energy. He can absolutely put a team on his shoulders. I know that. So I'm not banging on him, but this is what I worried about. I said all year. Is he going to unravel in the playoffs? And apparently somebody's already in his head. By the way, be very careful about taunting Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard's really, really good, and he was the better guard on the floor yesterday, Russell, so be very careful.
You can't give him that much space to shoot, because he's going to shoot.
Wow.
Where Colin was wrong.
I'm one of the 8 people in America that does not watch Game of Thrones, and so therefore I'm on the wrong side of popular. Yes, last night was the Super Bowl of sorcerers, dragons, and ice zombies. Apparently, I didn't watch any of it. I'm not into escapism TV. I watched golf. I watched NBA playoffs and UFC all weekend. I did not watch Wolf People. I did not watch Wizards. I've heard of Jon Snow. I thought he was a middle reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm sorry, but it has won 715 award nominations. And so that tells me it's one of the great shows, if not the greatest show of all time. And I've not seen an episode. And by the way, I'm so far gone on this thing.
Well, you can't catch up now.
I can't.
I wouldn't even. One day if you have literally nothing to do.
One day, one year.
No, when you retire, when you're 87 or something.
Yeah.
Then you can maybe pick it up because it's 8 seasons and they're each episode's an hour. I watched last night though.
No, everybody did.
Yeah. Except for you.
Yeah, me and some guy in Sheboygan didn't watch.
Where Colin was right.
Finally, Blake Griffin, no show for the Pistons, game 1 of the playoffs. Colin, he was hurt. He's always hurt. He was hurt in the playoff series against the Jazz and the Blazers and the Grizzlies. I've always said about Blake, he's a super talent, but I can't build around him. Some guys are not dependable emotionally. Some guys are not dependable physically. I always said he was the best volleyball player in NBA history. He's great at the net. He's great at spiking. I can't trust him in late games to hit a free throw. I don't want the ball in his hands. Late game to hit a shot. Physically, he plays hard, gets hurt. He's not there for game 1. There's been 2 great players in the NBA, maybe 3 that I just never bought into. Carmelo, John Wall, and Blake Griffin. And I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't you take the last 4, 5, 6, 7 games off? You got to be there for game 1 of the playoffs. Come on. You're the face of the franchise. They're paying you a zillion dollars. You got to be there. Calling right, calling wrong. A guy that knows a lot about golf, Rick Riley's around the corner. To me, again, I'm not a golf expert. I play it infrequently and poorly, but I think it'll be the most memorable Tiger Woods golf win in his career. Maybe I'm wrong. Rick will tell me. If you haven't tried the high-quality meats from Butcher Box, I think you're going to be blown away. Just got another box delivered to my house last week. Pork, beef, chicken, salmon. They deliver 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef. Their chicken's organic, heritage breed pork to your door. They work closely with the best farms and companies committed to raising animals humanely. It's an ethical process. So you get grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught sockeye salmon from Bristol Bay, Alaska. Over 20 different cuts of meat to choose from with customizable boxes and a variety of other options to choose from. Listen, it comes at an affordable price, and when they offer free shipping, which they do, it averages less than $6 per meal. Butcher Box offering my listeners the ultimate breakfast bundle. 2 packs of the best tasting bacon you've ever had, 2 pounds of their custom breakfast sausage, and $20 off your first box. Sign up at butcherbox.com/herd, butcherbox.com/HERD. The salmon is absolutely out of this world.
I'm always gonna be here for you.
That right there is a threat to your marriage.
We both know I give you something Lucius can't.
An all-new Empire, Wednesday at 8 on Fox.
Todd! No! You wouldn't just live with it if they did it. So why live with your cat scratching furniture? This could be due to fear and anxiety. Feel Away products are clinically proven to help alleviate many stress-related cat behaviors. Find your solution at feelaway.com.
The Joseph A. Bank Super Tuesday sale. Save up to 70% off almost everything. All suits on sale starting at $199. Dress shirts and sports shirts $39. Plus an extra 40% off all clearance. The Super Tuesday sale. Shop early Monday.
Now I had the time of my life, and
the most delicious union of all time is back. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for a limited time at KFC.
Discover a new wave of refreshment, crafted using our unique brew pure process. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it.
Great offers. Visit your local Jaguar retailer today.
It's your primitive plan yet. It's your primitive plan yet. If you got a big, let me search it.
You wouldn't just live with it if they did it. So why live with your cat peeing outside the litter box? This could be due to fear and anxiety. Feel Away products are clinically proven to help alleviate many stress-related cat behaviors. Find your solution at feelaway.com.
John, if you're picking right now, Brewers and Dodgers, who's better?
I still give the edge to the Dodgers. They are the champs in the NL, and the talent level is still through the roof.
Watch out for the Brewers this year. These guys believe they can win right now.
It's fun to watch them play baseball, the joy that they have.
This team is going to be something to deal with.
Your diet is probably throwing your digestive system out of healthy balance. Hi, I'm Dr. David Katz, and common everyday foods like sweeteners, processed foods, and meat can disrupt it, leading to indigestion, bloating, even constipation. That's why we developed Peptiva.
Peptiva is the first ever doctor-formulated probiotic designed to work at night that features a combination of key ingredients found in no other probiotic, backed by over 7 clinical studies. Get your complimentary sample by texting BANK to 321321.
Peptiva is designed to work while you sleep, when your body is at its restorative best, targeting digestive discomfort while promoting digestive balance. And since you take it at night, we added time-released melatonin for deep, restful sleep.
Find out for yourself why Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC. Get your complimentary sample now by texting BANK to 321321. Offer not available in stores. That's BANK to 321321.
When Cousin Sal, Todd Furman, Clay Travis, and me, Rachel Bonetta, get together, all bets are on. Lock It In is the all-new one-of-a-kind sports gambling show, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Antonio Brown is now a Raider. And, you know, everybody is saying the Raiders won. They got the star. Poor Steelers. There is no chance for the Raiders to get value with this contract. I'm not saying it's a disaster, but this is like buying a Bentley. You may say it's worth every penny, but there's no value with it. You're not getting a deal on a Bentley. This contract is a massive deal for a perimeter player. This only works for the Raiders. If Antonio Brown, for what they paid him, is great for 3 straight years, elevates not only himself but Derek Carr in the offense, stays healthy and happy, and is never disgruntled. A lot of big ifs. This feels like the Raiders are just making stuff up to me. This was not a long-term plan. This feels like they're trying to sell tickets. You know, you can say what you want about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They paid nothing for Antonio Brown for 3 to 4 years. They got him in the 6th round. And then when they had to pay him, they still didn't pay him great. Antonio Brown was underpaid his entire time in Pittsburgh. Then they got rid of him and got 2 picks. Folks, the dream of every general manager in this league is to find a 6th-round player who becomes a Hall of Famer, and then when you actually do have to sign him, you still don't make him a top 15, top 20 paid wide receiver. I'm happy for Antonio Brown, and I think he'll be a nice player for the Raiders. But this deal only works for the Raiders if he is just absolutely happy and healthy and hits a home run for 3 straight years. There's no value in the NFL paying a wide receiver $16, $17 million. The Steelers got a complete deal on Antonio Brown breaking into the league. They still got a good deal with his first big contract, and they let him go, and they get 2 more picks. I'm on that side. Welcome back. A friend, an 11-time National Sports Writer of the Year, 23 years at Sports Illustrated, but back in 2014, final column as a sports writer. He's in the Hall of Fame, by the way, as a sportscaster. Not as a sports writer, but a sportscaster?
No, sports writer.
Okay, that they put. I said sportscaster.
And why am I down here and like you're a pharmacist up there? Like, what is this? I'm in the principal's office?
You and Michael Lewis. I don't build the sets. I'm not a carpenter. I'm a sportscaster.
Well, it's very fancy.
At least I get joy now. Right up, used to be over in the corner.
I'm up on the stage now.
Oh, you get to be up too. Okay, yeah.
So you too. I'm also up above you.
You can just lecture me.
Yeah.
So my first takeaway this morning is you were one of the first sports writers. I think Charles Pierce was another one that you came out and said, you know, Tiger could be a little nicer to people. You were never a fanboy. You're not paid to be a fanboy. You got a lot of pushback, I imagine, during that. But yesterday, and again, you've watched him with a critical eye. You never denied he's unbelievable. But yesterday, how did it psychologically land to you? Different?
You know, I've known him since college, since he was in college, and I always felt he was too famous, too young, and he never could show his true emotions. And I think that's why he kept such a distance from everybody.
Right.
Like the 4 or 5 guys in his inner circle love him, right? But he just keeps everybody at arm distance, and that was true with his emotions. Yesterday was the first time since he was a sophomore in college that I saw him really let us see what he was feeling. And it was incredible. And I stood there in 97 when he hugged his dad.
Yeah.
And he's so close with his dad. And I know he's so close to his son. And so to have that, I'm getting chills just talking about it. Just to have that moment, like I cried. And you know Jim Nantz. I've known him for years. That's the first time I've ever seen him. He started to tear up in the interview. Jim Nantz.
Yeah.
That's how big the moment was. And I don't care what you say. That was a really boring round of golf he played. He hit 1 signature shot on 16. He made an incredible up and down on 10.
Very smart
But
golf.
he was all smart. And for a guy that's made so many mistakes, you're a tennis player, a lot of what killed Tiger through this stretch was unforced errors. You know, you had a beautiful wife, you had 14 affairs. You wanted to be a Navy SEAL, so you hurt your knee. You got addicted to pills. You got arrested. These are all very human mistakes. And yet this whole week, he hardly made any mistakes. And that's what brought him back. And the golf itself was just very smart. He just outlasted everybody. But that moment when he won, I'll never forget it.
No, one of the broadcasters said that this is the greatest moment in golf history. And again, there's these iconic, idyllic moments with Jack and throwing the clubs and Mickelson at the Masters. But I felt it was different. And again, I see it from afar. I mean, I'm sitting there on the couch and I could not move for 5 hours.
It can't be the greatest moment in golf history. Who said that? That makes no sense.
Well, the guy that was on with Nance. Let me ask you this.
Jack Nicklaus was 46 years old, 5 shots back with 9 to play, caddying with his son. He hadn't broken an egg in 4 years, hardly made a cut.
But he would never got addicted to anything. He didn't see the bottom.
So his mistakes make his comeback better than, say, Ben Hogan,
yes,
who got hit by a bus?
No. Yes, because Michael Jordan's... What makes Tiger and Michael different than every athlete in my life is they bottomed out. I mean, your dad gets taken from you. You decide to quit the sport. You're best in the world. You play baseball. You're not good at it. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, now it's a comeback story. Now it's Hollywood. I think Tiger's flaws is why I'm sitting on a couch.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But I mean, this whole Blockbuster video where you go in Blockbuster and there's no movies before 1980. In the old days, remember Blockbuster?
Right.
Well, that's what everyone's doing now. You forget what 97 was like. Tiger Woods. We hadn't even hardly had a black member at Augusta.
Right.
And he won it by 12 shots. And then you forget 2000, conveniently, where he had all 4 major trophies sitting on his coffee table. He went 560-0, beat every guy that rises up, the Bob Mays, you know, those kind of Orville Moody guys, beat all them, beat all the best players 4 straight times. That, to me, is the greatest moment in golf history, maybe sports, to have all 4 majors. So this was great. But I don't see how people are going, this is the greatest golf moment of all time.
But you're a golf encyclopedia. Most of us aren't. So we skim the surface. And this was the most emotionally important win for him. This connected with the guys like me.
Oh, it was emotional, man. I was sitting there crying my eyes out.
Let me ask you this.
That when he's holding his son, and then he takes them all, because he didn't used to be available at all for us to see his emotions. Never let you do that. And then suddenly he was just going crazy. And I don't know, something about it. I'm still getting chills about it.
When you were critical of Tiger, did he shut you out? How was your relationship? But for people that don't know this, you've been a golfer for a long time. You make fun of tennis players because, as you always say...
Well, what do you get out of tennis? Every court looks the same. I don't care if you're in Singapore or Reseda, it's the same. Don't you want something different? I mean, we got hot rocks and streams, and you're just... Oh, it looks like another tennis.
It's a very good point.
But anyway.
But when you were critical of him, how did he treat you? Because you're at every major.
Oh, no, he shut me out long before that. He shut me out. He shut everybody out because Charles Pierce came in and wrote all the stuff. Because Tiger loves dirty jokes.
Yeah.
So he was telling dirty jokes, and the limo driver told Pierce.
He told him.
And Pierce, you know, really wasn't a golf. He didn't care what happened to the rest of us. And, man... He and his dad just shut us out. And I was pretty close with the dad and him through the first couple of years. And then it was over. He was so closed in. That's why what mattered yesterday was so amazing to see him do that and just embrace that family. And he didn't used to be like that.
Do you think it's a one-off? I mean, you've had back fusion, 3 surgeries, torn Achilles. He's older. Do we get a string of these now?
No, this guy was not an underdog. He almost won the last 2. He was leading Sunday at Carnoustie before the Italian guy was, and then he was right in the hunt in St. Louis, set that whole town upside down. He almost won, except Brooks Koepka suddenly became Superman. So he's been right in it. I think he's now ranked 6th in the world.
Oh, is he?
He led the whole tournament in greens and regulation. He's one of the top 10 players in the world. And now you got to think, he won at Bethpage. We go there next in May. His greatest tournament of all time, you said this one was, actually when he won by 15 at Pebble Beach in the 2000 US
That was
Open.
Great.
Now he's going to Pebble Beach again. So he's got a real chance to win another one. I have $50 bets with 10 of my friends that he'll still pass Jack. I made those bets in 2007, and I've never paid him off because I think he's still going to do it.
You know, it's interesting. When Tiger dominated golf, and this is very natural, when Michael Jordan left the NBA, we're like, okay, who's the next Michael? Instead of going, oh, yeah, we're not going to see another Michael. So Tiger leaves because of all his personal stuff and his physical stuff. And then Rory McIlroy is good, but not special. Dustin's good, but not. And Justin Rose. And there's about 19 guys, and they all win 1. And they don't win 3 and 4. And then now comes Brooks, the bomber. And everybody's like, oh, he's the next guy. And I'm sitting there watching yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of money in golf now.
But he did almost win 4 of the last 7 majors.
Okay,
right?
so you think
if he makes that putt on 18, he's in a hunt. He's in the playoffs.
So you don't think Tiger's just going to elevate beyond these guys now?
Oh, no, I think he'll try to. He's 43, Colin. What do you want from the guy? He's 43 years old. He's doing great. This is not going to go on forever, but he has a chance now to pass Jack. But, you know, you said something earlier. People just don't get how close he was to quitting, but he never quit. Jordan quit. Tiger never quit through all the shame. And he had the chip yips. He couldn't even chip it over a bunker.
Listen, he couldn't get on a cart. He said it hurt too much.
He couldn't get on a cart. Brooks Koepka got up. He got up for his 9:20 tee time yesterday, Eastern. He said he's going to get about 6:30, 7. Tiger got up at 3:45. He has to stretch for 3 hours just to get that body going. So what we're seeing, man, savor this because this is crazy.
It is nuts. Are he and Mickelson closer now?
Yeah. He's better with everybody now, except me, I think.
By the way, you have a new book out, Commander in Cheat, How Golf Explains Trump. I know Tiger's played with Trump because Trump plays with famous people. There's got to be a Tiger-Trump story.
Trump loves to play with celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he wants to play with. And, you know, in this book, people think it's a political book. It's just a fun book about how much Trump cheats, not just in his golf game, but when he builds courses, how he pays people, the political trouble he gets into that started in golf. But he's also really fun. And then he never takes your money.
Oh,
but he always has to win.
Trump never takes your money.
Never takes your money. And then he orders 20 cheeseburgers in the corner of the grill with Diet Cokes and fries. And then anyone can come up and have lunch with him. And it's great if you're a spy because you can be mic'd up. But so he's playing with Tiger and Dustin Johnson and Brad Faxon. And it's Dustin and Tiger against Faxon and Trump. They're playing the back tees. Trump and Faxon from the white tees.
Yeah.
Trump's getting 8 shots. They hit it way left. He and Faxon are way right. Trump hits his second shot, fats it into the water, splash. He says to Faxon, throw me another one. They didn't see that. And Faxon's like, excuse me? Throw me another one. Throws him another one.
Well, he is the president.
Fats that in the water.
Oh, boy.
Drives up in his super fast golf cart, hits that on the green. Meanwhile, Tiger hits it like this for kick-in birdie. And Tiger gets up there and says, so what are you putting for, Mr. President? And he says 4. He's putting for 7.
Yeah, but shouldn't presidents get like 3 strokes a hole?
Absolutely, but then you don't get to say you're that. He says he's won 20 club championships.
No, that's a bit much.
Bit much?
He's a stretcher.
I tried for a year to prove any of them were real. Do you know how he does it?
Well, how?
Whenever he opens a new course, he has 15 courses, he plays the first round by himself and then declares that the club championship.
I love that, actually.
It is kind of ingenious. You got to kind of give it to the guy. That's pretty smart.
Rick Riley, 11-time National Sports Writer of the Year. So now you don't write sports anymore, and you write movies, and you're in Italy. Will you, however, will this get you back to majors and following golf a little more?
Absolutely not. I'm going back to Italy.
Okay.
I'm playing my piano. I'm doing paddleboard. I'm meditating.
All right.
What he was saying about what a golf champion he was just got me so mad because I knew it was a lie because I've played with him. He says he's a 3 and he's a 10 and he says he's this champion.
Well, you golf guys are all about rules. But I'm talking Tiger. Will Tiger's great? No, if Tiger runs off 3 straight majors, don't you want to write about golf?
Yeah, you're right.
You can't not write about it.
You're right.
This is the great comeback in American sports history.
And Modern. You're right. I would love to write about it, but I don't have a job. I don't want a job. So I don't know how the hell we're going to do this. Maybe you can make a call.
I don't have any power anywhere. You know the big winner yesterday? I just thought about this besides Tiger in America. Who has the U.S. Open? Pow, we do.
Huh.
Pebble Beach, Fox.
Yeah. You know what Fox does great?
What?
You guys do great? The sound.
Yeah, I like the sound.
They're the only network that lays out when the caddy's talking to the player because that's what we want to hear.
Oh, I love caddy talk.
If you could hear if there was a guy standing next to Tom Brady at the line And you could hear that. Wouldn't you want to hear it?
Oh, absolutely.
But these other networks talk over that. Like, that's as intimate as you can get in golf. And Fox does a great job of that. And also the ball going into the cup. I love that sound.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Thank you.
Rick Riley. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
All right, Thunder, they had a little bit of struggles shooting the ball yesterday.
A little
struggleness there. They made a season-low 5 threes in the 104-99 loss to Portland. Even though Paul George led OKC with 26 points, he went just 8 of 24 from the field, including 4 of 15 from 3. And after the game, he gave us some insight on the severity of his injured shoulder.
I want to hear that.
For me, it's just rhythm. 4 days ago, I couldn't even lift my shoulder. And then fast forward to today, it's the first day I shot the ball. So with me, it's just rhythm. Tomorrow, I'm going to get shots up and get back in tune. And we're going to, try to get the same looks that we got tonight. That's all it is, just rhythm. Everything, soreness, everything went down. I was good. Again, it was just I haven't shot a ball since the Houston game. So that's all it is.
I'm hoping that's all it is just rhythm and not actually a very, very injured shoulder, because obviously they need Paul George. This is the worst time of year to have an injury like this, because you're really not going to get any time off. And this is not an easy series. So this is likely going to go 6 or 7. So he's not going to get to just relax for a week and rest it or rehab it. He said he could barely lift it up the other day. So the shooting overall as a team is not going to be that bad, like you said earlier. But Paul George, that's a big concern. This is a very tough Portland team.
Yeah, he's their best player. He was an MVP for half the year. The other thing is, OKC is I actually watch a lot of Thunder games. They're not a great shooting team. They're like 23rd in the league or 22nd. They're not going to shoot their way to a series win. They're going to win this series playing defense, dominating the glass, giving Portland no second looks. So they don't have to shoot brilliantly. They just can't go 5 for 30,
right,
whatever.
Which they're not going to do.
If they had gone 9 for 35, they win the game. I mean, it could have been that simple. They just literally went. They had a stretch in the second half where Portland got hot and they got cold, and it was like a 4-minute stretch, and you're like, okay, because I think they got it down when I was watching. I think they got it down to like 4. Then all of a sudden it's at 11, and you're like, on the road, you're not going to come back and win that in the playoffs.
Right. This is going to be a great series either way, though. So Luke Walton is officially the next coach of the Sacramento Kings. The team confirmed today he will be the 29th coach in franchise history. His contract is a 4-year deal to align with GM Vlade Divac's contract. Divac wants to play fast. He wants to have fun. He wants players and coaches and front office executives who are all on the same page, who love basketball and get along. And, the Kings also finished 39-43 this year. So he's not walking into the worst situation ever. Now, you mentioned earlier you feel like Luke kind of fired the Lakers and not the other way around.
I think Luke knew he was going to get whacked, and so I don't think he was flailing like it was interpreted by a lot of people. I think Luke was working on this thing for a couple weeks.
I agree with you. This feels more of like a 50-50 split than it does Luke just getting fired and landing and having a spot to land. I think Magic did the same thing. I think Magic, it just wasn't going to work, and Magic knew when to get out before it got any worse, and Luke is the same, because if Luke had stayed with the Lakers and say they kept him on for another year and it's more of a disaster, it'd be very hard for him to get another NBA head coaching job.
Yeah.
And why do you want to put yourself in that position when you know you have a contract waiting for you? It only makes sense. Now, again, what do the Lakers do moving forward? I never really thought when LeBron left Miami to go to Cleveland that it was going to work. He proved everyone wrong. And Ty Lue was the guy that made it happen there. And, a lot of people joked about, Ty Lue not being really the coach and LeBron is the coach. We know LeBron makes the calls here, but this is what the Lakers decide to do, is go all in on LeBron. When LeBron came to the Lakers, that's what it was. And that's what they tried to do in the middle of the season when they tried to trade everyone for Anthony Davis. Obviously, it didn't work out, but you have to continue with LeBron. This is a situation. You can't trade him. Like, we can talk about it, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So put the pieces around LeBron that make him comfortable, and Luke is on his way to coaching the Sacramento Kings. So finally, a once outlandish Russell Wilson to the Giants scenario that one Colin Cowherd put out in the universe is suddenly gaining steam, especially if the Seahawks fail to sign him to a contract extension by his 11:59 p.m. Monday deadline. According to Peter King, Wilson will not sign a long-term contract with Seattle at all if he doesn't get one by the end of tonight. And now we also have Honey Badger's tweet Tyrann Mathieu tweeted in response to Pro Football Talk, Russ wants New York, but you ain't heard that from T.
This is becoming, among players, this is becoming a very well-known sentiment that Russell has given Seattle his body and his time. They have not taken care of the offensive line. They have not spent the money on offensive pieces. They've spent it on defensive pieces. And Russ is tired of it. And he's got a new, beautiful, smart wife, and she's in his ear saying, you need to take care of you. And this is, and I again, it won't make the Seahawks better or more flexible because Russell is what Russell is, a really good player. But I totally get where he's coming from here. He doesn't feel respected. And I thought Steve Young felt a little bit of this in his career, and Russell almost everybody in this league that's good at quarterback is adored and worshipped. Russell always feels like he's fighting his own organization to get a decent offensive line.
I'm 100% with you with all that, especially the offensive line. I think part of Russell Wilson's reputation of being an improviser comes a lot from the fact that he's running for his life. So the fact that he can make those plays after having to improvise that way kind of speaks more to his greatness than him just going, away from the playbook. But I don't know what Seattle does here to replace him. That's what I don't understand.
They don't.
They may just be saying we need to risk it and try and get a young guy in the draft and build our franchise that way. I don't really believe that's how you should do it.
Good luck.
I mean, I see Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, you have Trubisky, you have Dak Prescott. You have examples of young, good quarterbacks who are on these rookie deals so that you can pay veterans and skill players these bigger contracts and turn yourself into a contender. But that's 4 guys.
Ask yourself this. Who do the Seahawks play twice a year going forward? Sean McVay, Jared Goff, and Kyle Shanahan-Garoppolo. And you think you can just give up Russell? You're going to be facing offensive juggernauts. You have to score 30 to win games in that division. By the way, what if Kyler Murray gets drafted and is really good? So you got 6 games a year against these dynamic Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray, Goff, McVay, Shanahan, Garoppolo. Yeah, we're going to give up on Russell and just kind of wing it defensively.
That's just not the position I think that you do the discount at. If you're lucky enough to have a good rookie quarterback or a good quarterback on a rookie contract, good for you. But you better hope that you draft the right one.
Yeah. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
Chris Broussard, what did we see this weekend? I thought it was because of Tiger Woods stealing all the thunder, I thought it was a great NBA weekend. The gap between regular season and playoff effort was on display. He's coming up. When it comes to car repairs, you want to be covered with a warranty. Now, let's say you own a car for like your 4th year. You don't have a warranty. What do? That's where CarShield.com comes in. You don't have to fork over $800 for a sensor light. Listen, cars get banged around, and you just don't want to get snagged. So if you join CarShield.com and you have any problems, rental car free. Let's say you're stuck on the side of a freeway, 24/7 roadside assistance free. Over $2 billion in claims has been paid out through this Midwestern company. The bottom line, you don't want to get snagged. And right now, they make it really easy. They created an all-new toll-free number. 800-CAR-6000, 800-CAR-6000, code HERD. Got to mention the code HERD. Or go to carshield.com, carshield.com, and mention the code HERD, H-E-R-D. In both instances, you'll save 10%. Okay, CarShield's new toll-free number, 800-CAR-6000, mention HERD. A deductible may apply. Bargain hunting for the best deal, because you don't want to fork over $800 is not where you want to be. You want extended vehicle protection.
The Home Depot's making finding your color easier than ever. Whatever inspires you, discover the perfect color with popular palettes online. Get free delivery on samples and convenient new paint selection tools in store. Get a colorful new experience and everything you'll need, like gallons of Behr Premium Plus from $27.98. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Your eyes don't deceive you. This taco is filled with crunchy, melty nachos for just $1. The new $1 loaded nacho taco from Taco Bell's Cravings Value Menu. Value beyond belief.
Rated mature.
Really? Man, this is what I feel like when I wear regular shoes. Cramped and uncomfortable.
We can arrange a little upgrade.
Which is why I wear Skechers wide fit shoes. They have extra room throughout. They're like a luxury ride for my feet. Try Skechers wide fit shoes.
There's nothing small about your business. That's why with Dell Small Business Technology Advisors, you'll get tailored product solutions, expert tech advice, and one-on-one partnership. Call an advisor today at 877-BUY-DELL.
How do you think they make Starburst taste so juicy?
Starburst? Juice-Dradic equation. Super top secret mathematical formula they keep stored inside a safe, inside a vault, inside a volcano.
Oh, Juice-Dradics.
Starburst, unexplainably juicy.
Is it true Cricket has iPhone XR?
With the amazing liquid retina display.
Is it true that you wear a wig?
Could a wig do this?
All money managers might seem the same, but some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
Saturday, ring rivals collide.
Here he comes!
Danny Garcia, one of boxing's welterweight elite, is on a mission to dominate his weight class.
BBC on Fox!
The former two-division champion is back in a grudge match against hard-hitting contender Adrian Granados. BBC on Fox, live from Los Angeles, Saturday at 8, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
In the foothills of the Bavarian Alps, the monks started lager beer brewing 600 years ago. Watch your head. In a cave like this.
Wow, the original man cave.
A good lager beer needs a lot of time, but many big companies, they do fast lagering, which takes only a few weeks.
At Sam Adams, we don't dig caves, but Boston Lager is brewed longer than a month for more flavor.
Cheers. Cheers. Wow, that's real lager.
What if I wielded the power of the Infinity Gauntlet? I could bend reality to my will with a snap of my fingers.
I just saved money with Geico.
I saved hundreds of dollars.
Nice.
That is a lot of money. The power is exhilarating. I just got something in my throat. Yeah.
Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame in theaters April 26th.
Range Rover Evoque with ClearSight rear view mirror.
Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car, under the hood, and hanging with the drivers.
We've got the drama, the stories, the science. We've got the speed.
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
The new Fox Sports app, now with live streaming. Download it from the App Store today.
When Cousin Sal, Todd Furman, Clay Travis, and me, Rachel Bonetta, get together, all bets are on. Lock It In is the all-new one-of-a-kind sports gambling show, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Saturday, it's an MLB doubleheader on FS1. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern as the Pirates host the Giants. Then Cody Bellinger and the Dodgers take on Christian Yelich and the Brewers. Catch it all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
By the way, I found the second person on planet Earth who did not watch Game of Thrones. How are you?
I haven't seen 1 minute of Game of Thrones in my life.
Billions? You ever watch Billions?
Nope.
Well, that's good.
Is it? I've heard great things about both. I think my wife and I will start watching Game of Thrones. I'm going to suggest it. We've been looking for something since Breaking Bad. That was a while ago.
You're a little behind.
I know.
Pretty
we watched Breaking Bad like 5 years later.
I mean, but then you can just binge it. It's actually better that way.
It's great.
Because if you like it, you always have something to watch.
I agree.
By the way, what did you make of Tiger Woods yesterday?
I was and I'm not a huge Tiger Woods fan, certainly not a huge golf fan, but I was at the edge of my seat. I was like, Boston, Indy, it can wait, and I was happy for him. I thought it was great. Comeback story. I felt like he was unfairly treated. Now, I don't agree with his, philandering and all that, cheating on his wife, but I felt there's a lot of athletes that do that.
Right.
And the only difference between them and Tiger Woods is he got caught.
Right.
And so to see media people who know other guys were doing it in golf and other sports, and just to pounce on Tiger the way they did, even guys in the media that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not to that degree because they don't have the opportunities, but they pounced on him too. And I just thought the hypocrisy was ridiculous. And so I'm glad that he bounced back. And I'm just hoping now he can challenge Nicholas, 18.
Yeah,
that'd be great. But it was great. It was just, By
the way, Tiger won his first Masters. Tom Brady was a backup quarterback at Michigan. It's been a long road. It's been a long road. Man. All right, Sixers lost. Let's start with this. More talent. That team's a mess. Something's happening in the Sixers locker room. What is it? Who's to blame? You can't lose to the Nets at home. And that's the one series that we both said had upset on it.
Right.
We both said we don't trust the Sixers' chemistry. Who's to blame?
They got so many issues. I'm going to start, not because he's the most to blame, but Brett Brown, he's going to go. Yeah. I mean, it's just, he was great for the process, but now when he faces a tactical coach, this is why I said, there's no way they're beating Boston if they ever play. Like, there's no way, because Brad Stevens is too tactical and out-coaches him. Kenny Atkinson is similar. He's got his team playing hard, 110% all the time. Tactically, he's out coaching Brett Brown. So that's one. Two, your two stars or two of your four, Embiid and Simmons, are not mature enough to lead this team deep into the playoffs.
I don't think they like each other.
Well, yeah, there's tension there. It's not, I don't think it's not outright, despising one another, but there's tension there because both want to be the man. Embiid is still young and silly. And he wants to be this celebrity. And Ben, there are people that will tell you Ben really is more concerned about being a celebrity than a superstar basketball player. Not realizing the celebrity comes with being the superstar basketball player. Look, 20 years ago, certainly in the 80s, you would have been able to get away with not being able to shoot. But in today's NBA,
it's a major problem.
It is. It's a downright liability.
No question.
Because as a point guard, he's great in the open floor, but in the half-court sets, he struggles.
Don't have to guard him.
So they put him in the post, and you can't have two guys in the post anymore. So that forces Embiid to go outside, which he likes to do anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why he's shooting threes and mid-range jumpers. Embiid should be able to demolish them. You saw what Boban did in the post.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop him. So those are problems. Brett hasn't figured out how to get Tobias Harris involved.
Yeah.
They've got major issues. They should still win this, even with Embiid being hampered. But they got issues.
Okay, man. I read this. The Warriors took a 1-0 series lead. You say they have an unspoken rallying cry in the playoffs?
One last hurrah.
A timeout. So the Warriors in the locker room are saying one.
No. I'm saying I'm in here. In here. It can't be spoken because they can't outright talk about KD. We know he's leaving. But in their heart of hearts, they all know this is the last hurrah. KD is probably out. DeMarcus is certainly out. Draymond.
They're not paying Draymond big money. Period. No way.
Okay, so maybe I think they will. I think there's a number they'll go to keep him in an extension. But he just signed with Clutch. And one thing about Clutch and Rich Paul, they try to get every last dollar.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if Draymond thinks, hey, I could go play with LeBron and the Lakers. I think Draymond's smart enough to know that in most teams, he is not Draymond. Like, he could go somewhere and get exposed, you know, because if you expect too much from him, you expect he's a max guy. He's not that. He's perfect in Golden State. Hopefully he stays. But my point is, this could be, they know in their heart of hearts, this could be it. Let's go out with a bang. Let's win 3 straight. KD wants to compete with LeBron. LeBron didn't win 3 straight with the Heat. This is another way for him to up LeBron. So that's the silent, the unspoken rallying cry. They just meet eyes and they know one last hurrah.
Portland beats the Oklahoma City Westbrooks. He's snippy after the game. It would be easy for me to hammer on Russell Westbrook, but my takeaway is Thunder's still going to win this series, right?
Yes, I think so. Look, Paul George's injury is a problem. I think he's going to, because it's his shooting shoulder, he's going to have to go to the hoop more and not settle for the three-point shot. He was, 4 for 15, I think, from 3 in game 1. So I need him to penetrate more where he could probably finish at a better rate than he is from 3 with that injury. Westbrook, look, I've said it. I love him. Iconic, all that. Ugh. He's not going to win a title.
No.
If they I do have them going to the Western Conference Finals.
I think you're making
Look at that side of the bracket. Either the Spurs, okay, either Denver, who's a newbie in the playoffs, or Portland, who's been bounced and swept the last 2 years, or OKC. One of them's going to the conference finals. It's like a bad region in the NCAA tournament. So you thinking Spurs? Because I picked Spurs over Denver.
I just don't. I think they're unraveling. I think Westbrook's unraveling again. I think it's who he is. I'm not trying to pick on him, but I think they'll win the series because they have better players. But I think Paul George they're not going to go 5 for 35. I sat there for about an hour and they didn't hit a single 3. And it's bad. Finally, Lakers head coaching search. Who's it going to be? A minute left.
Ty Lue. I mean,
it's done.
But I think they're doing it backwards. Unless I guess Rob Pelinka's running everything now. Because if you bringing in a president to be over him, why in the world wouldn't you hire the president and he and Rob pick the coach?
That's what I thought.
It's ridiculous. Or if you're bringing in a GM to be under Rob or an assistant GM, why don't you bring him in and let them work together and pick the coach?
I don't get it. I said it this weekend to a friend. They're picking the coach before the general manager.
It makes no sense. And that's why, look, Jawan, I think he may be great one day, but you can't experiment right now. You got 2-3 years with LeBron James. You better go all in.
Is Pelinka hiring the coach quickly because he wants to force Jeannie to know, oh, I can't hire a GM because I got to make Pelinka the GM because he hired the coach? I think
Jeannie's all in on Pelinka because he's Kobe's guy. Because that was the sticking point with Magic. It wasn't Luke so much. It was Pelinka. That's Kobe's guy.
Good seeing you.
Good to be here. Good sports stuff going on.
Oh, tremendous sports stuff going on. All right, we got a final hour coming up. Cuttino Mobley stops by. More on Tiger. It's The Herd.
At Ace, your backyard is in our backyard.
Hey, welcome back.
Which makes it easy to take care of the things that always pop up. The grass that won't grow and the weeds that do. The lawn bags you thought you had. The bugs that need spraying and the hose that won't spray at all. You don't need a warehouse store for that. You need a home convenience store. You need Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock. With people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
We're Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh, and you may remember us from your very first sandwich. Your Movin' Day feast. Your bold canine caper.
That's not for you, Panda.
Your dinner in the dark. Your mammoth masterpiece. Your 3:47 a.m. snack. And whatever happened here. Because we make Deli Fresh with all the good of the deli. No artificial preservatives and no added nitrates or nitrites. Make every sandwich count with Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh.
Flip it in reverse.
searched it. Is your primitive been fired yet? Is your primitive been fired yet? If you got a big, let me search it.
Twisted Tea's the perfect daytime drink, made with real brewed tea and just a touch of lemon.
What you say we do a little day drinking?
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Unwind with a twist.
Good morning.
More treatment.
We're going to try something different today.
Oh, so pretty.
Dogs bring out the good in us. Pedigree brings out the good in them.
The Joseph A. Bank Super Tuesday sale. Save up to 70% off almost everything. All suits on sale starting at $199. Dress shirts and sports shirts $39. Plus an extra 40% off all clearance. The Super Tuesday sale. Shop early Monday.
Springtime is the time to buy a new Polaris. Right now, the world's best-selling side-by-sides and ATVs are priced to move. With rebates up to $1,500. Get rolling at Polaris.com.
Behold, the most habitations and infinite realities for a new you.
I'm sort of split between these two.
Apartments.com. Change your apartment, change the world.
This is a large 3-topping pizza from Domino's. You can carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a 3-topping handmade pan pizza from Domino's, and now you can also carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a logo from Domino's, and this is the end of the commercial from Domino's.
Cole, appreciate you recommending these stormproof windows.
No problem. I'm always thinking ahead.
Ramon, look under the couch. You look under the couch. I'll help you deal with this. I won't ever back up. I'll give it a back up. Try and play around and get a whole.
Well, the windows still look good.
Building a better bank starts with looking at something old and saying, really? So we built Capital One Cafes with savings and checking accounts you can open from here in 5 minutes. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Bravo team moving to checkpoint.
2 o'clock, 10 feet up the right.
Visual 3 o'clock.
Sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. Make a difference in your community, serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
What is that?
Mine. Why?
It's just that it's...
Lavender? Yes, it is. It's for men.
But I like the smell of it.
Every material purposely chosen. Every texture thought out. Every button debated. Until the all-wheel drive lock kicks in. And it's kinda anything goes.
Champion is back in a grudge match against hard-hitting contender Adrian Granados. PBC on Fox, live from Los Angeles, Saturday at 8, only on Fox on the Fox Sports app.
Oh, my stomach. What's wrong? It always happens when I eat. Bloating, indigestion. Always? Well, yeah. Don't you?
I used to. Have you tried probiotics?
Yeah, but they never work.
I thought so too, but then I tried Peptiva.
Peptiva is the first ever doctor-formulated probiotic that works at night with key ingredients backed by not 1, not 2, but over 7 clinical studies. And right now you can get a complimentary sample by texting BOND to 321 321-321. Peptiva works while you sleep to soothe indigestion, cramping, bloating, even constipation while promoting digestive health.
And it has time-released melatonin to help you get the best sleep of your life.
Okay, now that sounds good.
See why Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC. Get your complimentary sample now by texting BOND to 321-321. That's BOND to 321-321.
Here we go, live in L.A. Hour 3, this is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1 on all three. Joy Taylor is joining me, by the way. Feel stronger, mightier, energy drive. Go to mdriveformen.com today. Refine your prime with mDrive. mDrive, there it is. So I imagine I watched UFC, I watched NBA playoffs, I watched Tiger. A wife was under the weather, so I got kind of a free pass to just do nothing. I was the luckiest guy in the world. I got a pass, Joy, to do nothing all weekend but watch television.
It was the perfect weekend for that then.
Oh.
There was a lot of TV time this weekend.
A lot. And I just devoured all of it. So Coutinho Mobley in 15 minutes, former NBAer for a decade, thinks one NBA star needs to absolutely grow up. In Best for Last, we do Herd Tub Time Machine, which we do from time to time. We take you back to Tiger's early successes, and you forget how long ago they are. But first, I got a lot of questions about Tiger Woods winning the Masters yesterday, don't we all? But I want to start by asking you a question. What is it about Tiger that moves us? Okay, your time's up. He shouldn't move us like this. There's lots of reasons not to like him. He got very popular and very rich early. People resent that. He threatened a beloved legend, Jack. We don't like that. Ask LeBron about the Michael Jordan thing. He never treated his fans warmly or particularly well. And he did some really bad things to his family. And yet most of America sat on their couch crying